Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 8. Just a quick announcement, I have a new Twitter account. Travis Scott suspended my Twitter account. No joke, no cap. Well, a bit of cap. Some intellectual security company flagged it. It's pretty much impossible to, reverse Twitter DMCA stuff. Standard stupid internet rules, and it's going to be, it's pretty much impossible for me to get that account back, or at least it would take months and months. I'm not even joking. Potentially into next year. It takes that long. So new Twitter linked in the bio, or you can just look up this new Twitter handle that's on screen right now. If you followed me before, go follow that. It's Pagmeist, just like it was, but with YT at the end, which stands for YouTube. So yeah, go follow it. Would be greatly appreciated. Moving on from Mr. Sicko Mode himself, as we know to start off The Flash Season 8 for its first 5 episodes, we have a special 5-part event entitled Armageddon. Now, they are trying their best to avoid calling it a crossover, even though it is, but it's not a crossover over multiple shows. But it's just on The Flash, so yeah. Anyway, we knew that there would be a bunch of special guest stars from other Arrowverse shows, both past and present, with the only current member of an Arrowverse show taking part being that of Ryan Wilder, aka Batwoman from, Batwoman. But we also have the likes of Ray Palmer, aka Adam, Alex Danvers, who is from Supergirl, which is still on at the moment, but by the time this airs, Supergirl will be over, so technically it's the past when we get to there, and then Reverse Flash, among others. Now, the director for the first episode of the Armageddon event, that being Eric Dean Seaton, posted on Instagram the other day that they had just wrapped episode 1's filming, which might surprise some of you as they actually started filming about 3 weeks ago, so that is a much longer filming time for just one single episode of The Flash. Even for a crossover episode, it's a good amount of time. And this somewhat suggests that they have filmed stuff for other episodes outside the first episode, and that might be the same for future filming. So episode 2's filming schedule might consist of filming some scenes for episode 5. Episode 4's filming schedule might consist of filming some scenes for episode 1, and so on and so forth. And the main reason for this would be including actors in scenes for previous episodes or later episodes, whether they be one of the special guest stars or just someone else. In regards to episode 1's filming, I heard they filmed some stuff for episode 3 specifically, though it could have even been more episodes than that. Maybe they filmed some stuff for episode 5 as well, but I heard episode 3. Now, from what I've also heard, some of these special guest stars will only be in one episode or a couple, not all of them. I don't think any of the special guest stars are going to be in every single one of these 5 episodes in this event. Outside of Tony Curran, who was playing the villain Despero, though he wasn't listed as one of the special guest stars, he had his own casting announcement as the villain. He was special. Another thing I've heard, and I'm just listing stuff I've heard, but it's been a while since I've made like a video specifically on this. Another thing I've heard, the only special guest star that has any sort of extended appearance in the first episode is Ray Palmer, aka Adam. Of course, we saw him in the set photos from like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And the reason that we could be seeing limited appearances from each of these special guest stars could be because of what the event is based off itself, that of course being Armageddon. And we will come back to that in a couple of minutes in this video. So firstly, seeing we are on the topic of people that are in these episodes, there were a bunch of other guest stars for this event revealed by the director for the first episode. Now, he took photos with the characters that were already publicly revealed, which include mostly cast of the Flash TV show from last season as well, but he wouldn't take photos with any of these other new people because of quote-unquote spoilers, as he wrote on his Instagram post. Now, I will leave the link to the Instagram post in the description down below if you want to go check it out, but here are the list of actors he put in that post. Agam Darshi, Ryan Ginger, Eston Fung, Megan Petterhill, Rachel Drance, Lindy Booth, Cheyenne Biat, Sean Omaid, Mina Man, and Malcolm Masters. Malcolm Masters sounds like a superhero name. Anyway, now a lot of these actors are just like guest actors for shows here and there. They do bit parts for the most part. But Lindy Booth was a main character on The Librarians, which was a decently popular show that ended like a few years ago, roughly. And she was also in one of the Kick-Ass movies as well. I can't remember the character's name she played. Anyway, she was in one of those movies. Though Agam Darshi was just cast in the DMZ series on HBO Max, which is another DC show. So I think a lot of these actors will be characters that show up in like one or a few scenes outside of like a few of these actors, in particular Lindy Booth, who I'd expect to play some form of bigger role compared to the others in at least one of these episodes, most likely episode 1. But yeah, so keep your eyes out for anything to do with them. But back to the Armageddon comic book stuff and how it could tie into what's going on with everything else. So in the comics, the Armageddon storyline deals with individually focused stories with certain characters that then build up into a bigger finale, as you would expect in a comic book related thing. So this is what we could be seeing with the TV show's take on this story as well. So to start off, we have an episode that features Ray Palmer or the Atom. We know that Cress Williams, who plays Black Lightning, has recently arrived for filming, so episode 2 could feature Black Lightning. Whether it's focused on him or not, we'll have to wait and see. So the episode doesn't 100% mean that the episode focuses on that guest star. It could just focus on an event rather than a specific character, but that guest character plays a significant role in what's going on in that episode. So maybe episode 1 focuses on Ray Palmer as a character, but episode 2 focuses on an event that just features Black Lightning in a heavy role. Something along those lines, or you could flip them, one of the two. Now, to be specific from the comics, the hero Wave Rider uses his abilities to look and peer into several possible futures of different superheroes within the DC universe, seeing where they would be in the year 2001, hence the comic book crossover called Armageddon 2001. And this was in order to potentially see who would become a tyrant later in that year, because it was led to believe it was a hero back in that day, 10 years earlier. Now, Wave Rider arrived 10 years before 2001, so 1991, which was actually the year that crossover took place. So the comic book story is 30 years old this year. So we could be seeing a take on that, where there is an event in the future of the Arrowverse that a hero or just character in general in the present day could play a pivotal role in. So we could see how certain characters play into that, or we cross their name out as a potential person involved by seeing their future. So episode 1 could be Ray Palmer or the Atom's future. Episode 2 could be Black Lightning's future, or a future event that Black Lightning plays a part in. And this would make sense as to how a character like Mia Queen plays into the crossover, as she is from the future. So maybe a character from the present day's future is set around her or involves her, or maybe the year Mia Queen is in, which would be, I guess, 2040 or 2041, sometime around that, is the year in which something bad goes down, which needs to be prevented. Now, this Armageddon event, we can assume, is set in 2021, the Arrowverse. It's going to be airing in 2021 for us, so we can assume it's 2021 for Barry and his friends. So maybe instead of 10 years in the future, like the comics, it is 20 years for the TV show. So 2021, 2041, that will make sense. Mia Queen, we just get the 2041 version of her, which is a bit later from where we left her. So I think that makes sense. And it also gives them a bit of wiggle room if maybe the person who becomes this thing in the future, if they go down that route, maybe isn't well known in the Arrowverse at this point. Maybe we meet them throughout this crossover. But to highlight, this is why they aren't using characters like Superman, Stargirl, and even the people from Legends of Tomorrow. Everyone goes, oh, they're not using Superman or Stargirl because they don't want to taint the quality. I'm like, well, they're not using any of the Legends of Tomorrow. Like, none of the current people in that show. Now, all these characters being used outside of Batwoman aren't connected to shows at the moment, and this crossover appears that it will deal with future stuff as we've just gone over, and they wouldn't want to step on any potential continuity issues. And also, it does allow characters that didn't get amazing endings on their show, or just proper or focused endings for their characters, to potentially get them, like Black Lightning, Mia Queen, Ray Palmer. For those who don't know, Greg Berlanti, who is pretty much the Kevin Feige of all of these shows, organized this event. It wasn't going to happen until he brought it forward and made it happen. If he thought Superman would work in it, Superman would be in it. If he thought Stargirl would work in it, you guessed it, Stargirl would be in it. And to be completely honest, considering the premise of the story and how it works, it probably works better not having such heavy hitters in there. You know, it adds a bit more mystery to it. But that's if they go for something like in the comics. They could obviously not do anything like it. But whenever they have done these events based off stuff from the comics, like, Invasion, Elseworlds, Crisis on Earth X, which was a mixture of things, Infinite Earths, they are pretty accurate to them in the context to the characters available in the Arrowverse. So I don't know why they would step away from that right now. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how the episodes are laid out and what we do see and don't see. And you could argue this is almost like a what if type scenario with certain characters and seeing their potential futures or a different way that they could have gone. And of course, we know that Ryan Choi is showing up in this event as one of the announced special guest stars. So maybe one of the futures we see is him as the Atom, or maybe Ray Palmer hands the mantle of the Atom over to him at some point. In regards to guest stars not announced, We know that David Ramsey, who plays Diggle, is directing a couple of episodes of DC TV shows at the time they're filming this event. I think it's Batwoman and Superman Lois. So there is a chance we could see him show up for a cameo. And also Kelly Olsen is rumored to be in the event, but as a small cameo in a couple of scenes, most likely involved with the Alex Danvers character in whatever episode or episodes that she is involved in. So yeah, let's see what happens there. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. That's all to talk about from this. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it. As I said, follow me on Twitter if you want to. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions about this. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.